truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Nick Bain served Mississippi for over a decade in the State House. During that time, he fought for our children by protecting them against explicit materials pushed by the woke agenda. He protected taxpayers by streamlining government and helped create policies that have made Mississippi better. Nick and his team at Bain Bowen will use the same tenacity in helping you with all your legal matters. Call them today at 601-953-2994. Find Nick online at bainbowen.com. That's BAIN Bowen.com.
Green's Tire and Auto on Ridgewood Road in Ridgeland can do it all. Is your check engine light on? Take it to Green's. Air not blowing cold anymore? Take it to Green's. Squeaky brakes, bald tires, misaligned front end? Take it to Green's. Green's Tire and Auto can do it all. Your car can operate just like new again when you take it to Green's. Green's Tire and Auto, Ridgewood Road in Ridgeland. Take it to Green's. 601-957-0201.
Hey, freedom lovers, Big River Ballistics in Morton is your one-stop shop for all your 2A needs. From suppressors to everyday carry pistols and everything in between, we've got the gear. Test it in our beautiful facility and stretch out your rifle on our 1,150-yard range. Memberships start at only $40 a month. And hey, veterans, first responders, military, you're getting 10% off everything, including memberships. Visit BigRiverBallistics.com. That's Big River Ballistics, where freedom fires. Big River Ballistics, Morton, Mississippi.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
Want some whiskey in your water, sugar in your tea. What's all these crazy questions they're asking me?
All right, Legend, welcome back here to the full story. Nothing like Three Dog Night to lead us into A Christmas Carol. So here it is, Legend, without further ado, A Christmas Carol.
I've endeavored this ghostly little book to raise the ghost of an idea which shall not put my readers out of humor with themselves, with each other, with the season, or with me. May it haunt their houses pleasantly, and no one wish to lay it.
Marley was dead, to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about it. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. This must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come of the story I am going to relate. Regulators Productions presents Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, adapted by Robin Schilke and Matthew Bishop, starring the not pretty enough for TV players with Cliff Bowen as Scrooge. Once upon a time, of all good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather. The city clocks had just gone 3, but it was quite dark already, and candles were flaring in the windows of the neighboring offices, like ruddy smears upon the palpable brown hair. The door of Scrooge's office was open that he might keep his eye upon his clerk, who in a dismal little cell beyond was copying letters. Scrooge had a very small fire, but the clerk's fire was so very much smaller that it looked like one coal. Wherefore the clerk put on his white comforter and tried to warm himself at the candle, in which effort, not being a man of strong imagination, he failed. Suddenly, and much to Scrooge's displeasure, his cheerful nephew came running in.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle! God save you!
Bah! Humbug!
Christmas? A humbug, Uncle. You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
What right have you to be dismal? What reason have you to be morose? You're rich enough.
Bah! Humbug!
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be? when I live in such a world of fools as this. Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas. What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer? A time for balancing your books and having every item in and through a round dozen of months presented dead against you? If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart, he should.
Uncle.
Nephew.
They stared at each other a long moment, but Scrooge is not a man who ever backed down.
Keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it? You can't keep it in your own way because you don't keep it at all.
Let me leave it alone then. Much good may it do you. Much good it has ever done you.
There are many things by which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited, I dare say. Christmas among the rest. But I am sure I have always thought of Christmas time as a good time. A kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. The only time I know of in the long calendar year when men and women seem by one consent to open up their shut-up hearts freely and to think of people below them as if they really were fellow passengers to the grave and not another race of creatures bound on other journeys. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good, and it will do me good, and I say, God bless it. Hear, hear.
Scrooge gave a wary eye to the clerk.
You'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
I should think not.
But why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love.
Scrooge looked at his nephew as if he had said the one thing in the world more ridiculous than a Merry Christmas.
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I am sorry, with all my heart, to find you so resolute. We have never had any quarrel. I've come here in the spirit of Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So, a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year!
Good afternoon.
His nephew left the room without an angry word.
Have a Merry Christmas, Mr. Cratchit.
To you as well, sir.
There's another fellow, my clerk, with 15 shillings a week and a wife and a family, talking about a Merry Christmas. It'll drive me crazy.
The clerk, in letting Scrooge's nephew out, had let two other people in. They were portly gentlemen, pleasant to behold, and now stood with their hats off in Scrooge's office. They had books and papers in their hands and bowed to him.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. Dead this very night.
Well, sir, no doubt you then will share the generosity of the holiday. At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute who suffer greatly at the present time.
Are there no prisons?
There are plenty of prisons.
Are there no workhouses?
There are. Though I wish I could say there were not.
Oh, I was afraid, from what you said at first, that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it.
But sir, they scarcely furnish Christian cheer of mind or body to the multitude. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the establishments I have mentioned. They cost enough, and those who are badly off must go there.
But many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, they'd better do it, and decrease the surplus population. Besides, it's not my business. It's enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with other people's. Mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Seeing clearly that it would be useless to pursue their point, the gentleman withdrew. Scrooge resumed his labors with an improved opinion of himself and in a more satisfied manner than was usual with him. Meanwhile, the fog and darkness thickened. The ancient tower of a church whose gruff old bell was always peeping slyly down at Scrooge out of a Gothic window in the wall became invisible. and struck the hours and quarters in the clouds with tremulous vibrations afterwards, as if its teeth were chattering in its frozen head. The cold became intense, a piercing, searching, biting cold. The owner of one scant young nose, gnawed and mumbled by the hungry cold as bones are gnawed by dogs, stooped down at Scrooge's keyhole to regale him with a Christmas carol.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all
Get out of here, you little rat!
Scrooge ran towards the door with such energy of action that the singer fled in terror, leaving the keyhole to the fog and even more congenial frost.
You want all day tomorrow off, I suppose.
If quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient. Do you think it's fair when I pay a day's wages for no work?
It's only once a year, sir.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. However, be here all the earlier next morning.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
Scrooge walked out with a growl. The office was closed in a twinkling, and the clerk, with the long ends of his white comforter dangling below his waist, for he boasted no great coat, ran home to Camden Town as hard as he could. Scrooge took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern, having read all the newspapers and beguiled the rest of the evening with his banker's book, went home to go to bed. He lived in chambers which had once belonged to his deceased partner. Now, they were quite a gloomy suite of rooms. It was old enough now and dreary enough for nobody lived in it but Scrooge, the other rooms being all let out as offices. The yard was so dark that even Scrooge, who knew its every stone, didn't venture to it often. The fog and frost so hung about the black old gateway of the house that it seemed as if the genius of the weather sat in mournful meditation on the threshold.
It's all a humbug, I tell you. This season, this weather.
Now, it is a fact that there was nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door, except that it was very large. Let it also be borne in mind that Scrooge had not bestowed one thought on Marley since his last mention of his 7 years dead partner that afternoon. And let any man explain to me, if he can, how it happened that Scrooge, having his key in his hand and then in the lock of the door, saw not a knocker, but Marley's face. Marley's face. The hair was curiously stirred, as if by breath or hot air, and though the eyes were wide open, they were perfectly motionless.
Jacob.
As Scrooge looked further at this phenomenon, it was a knocker yet again. To say he was not startled, or that his blood was not conscious of a terrible sensation to which it had been a stranger from infancy, would be untrue. But he put his hand upon the key he had relinquished, turned it sturdily, walked in, and lit his candle. He quickly slammed the door shut, reverberating through the house like thunder. He fastened the door and walked across the hall and up the stairs. Up Scrooge went. But before he opened the heavy bedroom door, he walked through his rooms just to see that they were all right. Sitting room, bedroom, lumber room, all as they should be. Nobody under the table, nobody under the sofa, a small fire in the grate, spoon and basin ready, and the little saucepan of oats upon the hob. Nobody under the bed, nobody in the closet, nobody in his dressing gown, which was hanging up in a suspicious attitude against the wall.
I must be coming down with something.
But quite satisfied, he closed his door and locked himself in. Double locked himself in, which was not his custom. Thus secured against surprise, he took off his cravat, put on his dressing gown and slippers and his nightcap, and sat down before the fire to eat his oats. It was a very low fire indeed, nothing on such a bitter night. The fireplace was an old one, and paved all around with quaint Dutch tiles designed to illustrate the scriptures. There were Cains and Abels, Pharaoh's daughters, queens of Sheba, hundreds of figures, and yet the face of Marley, 7 years dead, was all of a sudden upon every one.
Humbug!
He got up and he walked around the room. After several turns, he sat down again, and as he threw his head back in the chair, his glance happened to rest upon a bell. It was with great astonishment and with a strange, inexplicable dread that as he looked, he saw this bell begin to swing. It swung so softly in the outset that it scarcely made a sound. But soon it rang out loudly, and so did every bell in the house. This might have lasted for a few seconds, but it seemed an hour. The bells ceased as they had begun, together. They were succeeded by a clanking noise deep down below, as if some person were dragging a heavy chain.
These oaks must be going bad.
He heard the cellar door fly open with a booming sound, and then he heard the noise much louder on the floors below, then coming up the stairs, then coming straight towards his door.
It's humbug still. I won't believe it.
His color changed, though, when, without a pause, a specter came on through the heavy door and passed in the room before his eyes. The same face, the very same from the knocker. The chain he drew was clasped about his middle. It was long and round about him like a tail, and it was made of cash boxes, keys, padlocks, ledgers, deeds, and heavy purses wrought in steel, though his body was transparent. Scrooge, he could not believe it. Though he had looked the phantom through and through and saw it standing before him, though he felt the chilling influence of his death-cold eyes and marked the very texture of the folded bandages bound around its head and chin, he was still incredulous and fought against his senses.
What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was, sir.
Who were you, then? You're particular for a ghost?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it, then.
You don't believe in me?
I don't.
What evidence would you have of my reality beyond that of your own senses?
I don't know.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because just a little thing can affect one's senses. A slight stomach ache, for example. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an undone potato. There's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are.
Silence! Do you mark your own destiny?
Mercy! Dreadful apparition, why do you trouble me?
Man of worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do! I must! But why do spirits walk the earth, and why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that his spirit should walk among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit does not go forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is doomed to wander through the world. Oh, woe is me! And witness what I cannot share, but might have shared on earth and turned to happiness.
You are bound by chains. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I girded it of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it. Is it a pattern strange to you? Or would you know the weight and length of the strong chain you bear yourself? It was as full, as heavy, and as long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago when I died. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain indeed.
Jacob. Old Jacob Marley. Tell me more. Speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. My spirit never walked beyond our counting house. Mark me. In life, my spirit never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing hole. And witty journeys lie before me.
You must have been very slow about it, Jacob.
Slow?
7 years dead and traveling all the time.
The whole time. No rest, no peace, and source it out your remorse.
You travel fast.
On the wings of the wind.
You might have got over a great quantity of ground in 7 years.
Oh, captive bound in double iron, not to know that ages of incessant labor by immortal creatures, for this earth must pass into eternity before the good of which is susceptible is all developed. Not to know that any Christian spirit, working kindly in its little sphere, whatever it may be, will find its mortal life too short for its vast means of usefulness. Not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one's life's opportunities misused. Yet such was I, oh, such was I.
But you are always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business! Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. At this time of the rolling year, I suffer most. Why did I walk through crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down, never to raise them to the blessed star which led to the wise men to the poor abode? Were there no poor homes to which its light would have conducted me?
Don't be so hard upon me, dear partner.
Hear me!
I will.
I have sat invisible beside you many a day, partner.
Scrooge trembled more and more.
That is no light part of my penance. I am here tonight to warn you that you have a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope of my curing Ebenezer.
You were always a good friend to me, Jacob.
You will be haunted, old friend, by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance and hope you mentioned, Jacob?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once and have it over, Jacob?
Expect the second on the next night on the same hour. The third upon the next when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more, and look that, for your own sake, you remember what has passed between us.
When it had said these words, the specter took its bandage from the table and bound it round its head as before. The apparition walked backwards from him, and at every step it took, the window raised itself a little, so that when the specter finally reached it, it was wide open. Sounds of lamentation and regret came from the window, wailings inexpressibly sorrowful and self-accusatory. The specter, after listening for a moment, joined in the mournful dirge and floated out upon the bleak, dark night. Scrooge followed to the window, desperate in his curiosity, and looked out. The air was filled with phantoms, wandering in restless haste and moaning as they went. Every one of them wore chains like Marley's ghost. Some few, they might have been guilty politicians, were linked together, but none were free. Whether these creatures faded into mist or mist enshrouded them, he could not tell. But they and their spirit voices faded together, and the light became as it had been before when he walked home. Scrooge closed the window and examined the door by which the ghost had entered. It was double locked, as he had locked it with his own hands, and the bolts were undisturbed. He tried to say his normal, miserable phrase, but couldn't. He found himself exceedingly tired. Whether it been from working, the conversation with the ghost, or lateness in the hour, he did not care. He went straight to bed, without undressing, and fell asleep upon the instant. All right, we're going to go ahead and take our first break right here. I always like that part about, and Dickens writes about the guilty politicians being some of the ones bound by chains flying through the air. Maybe some of our guilty politicians should read this great novel. But we're going to go ahead and take a break right here. When we get back, we'll get right into the very first ghost. But keep it tuned here to the full story on WYAB and the Christmas Hero on 103.9 FM. Again, if you want to call in, 601-879-0002.
WYAB.
Here's a word from John White, the owner of Two Gun Tactical in Flowood and Ridgeland.
I carry a gun every day, all the time. Last year in America, 2 million legal guns were pulled, and it stopped the threat. So I'm really wearing a firearm just to stop the threat. There's more likelihood of me just pulling it and not using it than there is using it. TwoGunTactical.com, TwoGunTactical.com.
Two Gun Tactical, the South's only country club. Pops Auto Sales on Highway 49 in Florence is where you come to buy quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, priced to fit your budget. Stop by Pops Auto Sales today, where fair prices and superior service leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Or go to popsautosalesllc.com and browse our inventory and get pre-approved for zero-down financing with approved credit, with service contracts and warranties available. And guys, our truck inventory is one of the largest for any independent dealer, period. Pops Auto Sales, Highway 49 in Florence.
CBS News Brief. Weather woes are putting a cramp in the style of some of the millions heading out of town for what AAA says is a record travel holiday, but some are taking it all in stride.
Try not to be annoyed by all the airport drama if there is any. Just like, you're going on vacation, have fun.
The U.S. military has struck dozens of sites in Syria in retaliation for an attack there that killed 3 Americans. CBS's Willie James Inman.
In a post on Truth Social, the president warned against attacks on the U.S., writing, "You will be hit harder than you have ever been hit before if you in any way attack or threaten the USA."
Federal investigators are looking for the cause of that deadly plane crash that killed 7 in North Carolina.
We do not know the circumstances which led the aircraft, which was a Part 91 general aviation flight, to attempt to return to the airport, but that is the focus of our investigation.
CBS News Brief. I'm Allison Keys.
Our flag was still there. The official 250th celebration flag is available at a complete flag source on I-55 North in Jackson. It's just one way you can show your appreciation for the greatest country on earth. Flags for all occasions. International and state flags too. Flagpole construction available. You can check it out at CompleteFlags.com. A complete flag source, I-55 North in Jackson.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
Here at Lake and Glass and Tint, we've become well known for 2 things: window tint and windshields. Now, when it comes to window tint, you already know that we're the go-to for home, car, and office. And as always, we offer free consultations. So if you're in the need of window tint or windshields, give us a call, 601-946-1000. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram or at lakeandglassandtint.com. Lake and Glass and Tint, where quality matters.
Grizz Nation, there's no place like home for the holidays. Get to FedEx Forum and feel the holiday spirit with the Memphis Grizzlies hosting the Milwaukee Bucks this Friday, December 26th. And the first 5,000 fans will get a free Grizzlies City Edition scarf. Grab your tickets today at grizzlies.com/tickets or at the FedEx Forum box office in Memphis.
Deep seated in the American citizen is pride in this community as an expression of.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Full Story. Nothing like some hard rock to get us right into our first ghost of A Christmas Carols. We get to the ghost of Christmas Past.
Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Light flashed up in the room upon the instant, and the curtains of the bed were drawn aside, I tell you, by a hand. The curtains of his bed were drawn aside, and Scrooge, starting up into a half-recumbent attitude, found himself face to face with the unearthly visitor who drew them, as close to it as I am now to you. It was a strange figure, like a child, yet not so like a child as like an old man, viewed through some supernatural medium which gave him the appearance of having receded from the view and being diminished to a child's proportions. Its hair, which hung about its neck and down its back, was white as if with age, and yet the face had not a wrinkle in it, and the tenderest bloom was on the skin. But the strangest thing about it was that from the crown of its head sprung a bright, clear jet of light. Even this, though when Scrooge looked at it with increasing steadiness, was not its strangest quality. For as its belt sparkled and glittered now in one part and now in another, and what was light one instant at another time was dark, so the figure itself fluctuated in its distinctiveness. Now being a thing with one arm, now with one leg, now with 20 legs, now a pair of legs without a head, now a head without a body, of which dissolving parts no outline would be visible in the dense gloom wherein they melted away. And in the very wonder of this, it would be itself again, distinct and clear as ever.
Are you the spirit, sir, whose coming was foretold in me?
I am.
Who? And what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No. Your past.
I can't tell you why, but sir, I beg you to put that cap on your head.
Would you so soon put out with worldly hands the light I give? Is it not enough that you are one of the people who made this cap and forced me to wear it?
I meant no offense, sir, and I did not know that I somehow contributed to the making of the cap. But what brings you here?
Your welfare.
My welfare? Thank you, but a good night's rest would have better suited that goal.
Your reclamation, then. Rise and walk with me.
He rose, but finding that the spirit made towards a window clasped its robe in supplication.
I am mortal and liable to fall.
Just touch my heart, and you shall be upheld in more than this.
As the words were spoken, they passed through the wall and stood upon an open country road, with fields on either hand. The city had entirely vanished, not a vestige of it was to be seen. The darkness and the mist had vanished with it, and for it was a clear, cold winter day with snow upon the ground.
Good heaven! I was raised in this place. I was a boy here.
Your lip is trembling. And what is that upon your cheek?
Oh, it must be, a pimple. Please, take me to our destination.
You remember the way?
Remember it? I could walk it blindfolded.
Then let us go on.
Look, it's James. And there, Charles. Oh my goodness. Little Sarah Adams. What a cute girl she was.
These are but shadows of the things that have been. They have no consciousness of us.
They left the high road by a well-remembered lane and soon approached a mansion of dull red brick.
Ah, the schoolhouse. It is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there still.
I know.
It was a large house, but one of broken fortunes, for the spacious offices were little used. Their walls were damp and mossy, their windows broken, and their gates decayed. There was an earthly savor in the air, a chilly bareness in the place. They went, the ghost and Scrooge, across the hall to a door at the back of the house. It opened before them and disclosed a long, bare, melancholy room made barer still by lines of desks. At one of these, a lonely boy was reading near a feeble fire.
I only had myself to rely on. Even then. Even as a boy.
Suddenly a man in foreign garments, wonderfully real and distinct to look at, stood outside the window with an axe stuck in his belt and leading a mule laden with wood by the bridle.
Merry Christmas, my boy! Come outside, join me!
Why, it's Ali Baba! It's dear, old, honest Ali Baba. Yes, yes, I know! One Christmas time, I was left here all alone. He did come. For the first time. Just like that.
It seems not everyone forgot the boy.
I wish. But it doesn't matter now.
What is the matter?
Nothing. Nothing. There was a boy singing a Christmas carol at my door last night. I should like to have given him something, that's all.
Let us see another Christmas.
The ghost smiled thoughtfully and waved its hand. Scrooge's former self grew larger at the words. The room became a little darker and more dirty. The panels shrunk, the windows cracked, fragments of plaster fell out of the ceiling. But how all this brought about, Scrooge knew no more than you do. He only knew that it was quite correct, that everything had happened so, that there he was, alone again, when all the other boys had gone home for the jolly holidays. He was not reading now, but walked up and down despairingly. Scrooge looked at the ghost and, with a mournful shaking of his head, glanced anxiously toward the door. It opened, and a little girl, much younger than the boy, came darting in and putting her arms around his neck, often kissing him.
Oh, dear, dear brother, I have come to bring you home, dear brother, to bring you home, home, home.
Home, little fan.
Yes, home for good and all, home forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be. That home's like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one dear night when I was going to bed that I was not afraid to ask him once if he might come home. And he said, yes, you should.
You are quite a woman, little fan.
Always a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered, but she had a large heart.
So she had. You're right. I'll not say it, Spirit. God forbid.
She died, a woman, and had, as I think, children.
One child.
True. Your nephew.
They left the school. All right, Legend, we're going to take a break right here. When we get back, we'll get right back into it. I'm going to reverse it just a little bit. I went a little bit too far. We'll be right back. So keep it tuned here to The Full Story on WYAB 103.9.
.9 WYAB.
I'm Laura Knight with Pro-Life Mississippi. As we celebrate the precious gift of life during this season, we want you to join us for an incredible night of music benefiting Pro-Life Mississippi. At Celebrating Life 2026, the Murphys Group and the Jason Levins Band will lead us in songs of praise, along with a special performance by Ballet Magnificat. Your ticket to this musical event provides essential support to the ministry of Pro-Life Mississippi as we offer hope and healing to families across our state. Join us in celebrating life.
God forbid.
She died, a woman, and had, as I think, children.
One child.
True. Your nephew.
Pro-Life Mississippi, thank you so much for your support and a Happy New Year.
For decades, you've known the name Martin's for good times, great food, and the best live music. Now that's happening at 2 locations, downtown Jackson and Livingston. Check the websites, martinslivingstonms.com and martinsdowntownjxn.com for the many special events and live music lineups. You can chill with friends on the big patio at the Livingston location and enjoy the Blue Plate lunches and nightly drink specials. Martin's, downtown and Livingston.
It's time to get to Mazda of Jackson for our end-of-the-year super sale and find your new car or SUV. Drive away cheerful in a 2025 CX-5 with 0.9% financing for 72 months with approved credit. And see why it's the compact crossover that's built for you. And get 1-year maintenance included on your new vehicle purchase. Make your resolution today to experience Mazda's exhilarating performance, top-notch safety, and reliability. Shop online at MazdaJackson.com or visit Mazda Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road in Jackson.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repair? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
Why should you choose Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating for all service or installation? Well, they purchase all parts directly from the manufacturer. All of their factory-trained technicians have been hand-selected for skill, work ethic, and experience. There are never any hidden fees or charges. Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating is dedicated to your complete satisfaction, and they're family-owned and operated. For residential and commercial service or installation, contact Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating, 601-317-0729, or make an appointment through their Facebook page.
If you had an accident and had your vehicle repaired at the insurance company preferred shop, you might consider calling Clinton Body Shop to schedule a post-repair inspection. 5 of the last 6 cars we inspected were bought back by the insurer or repair shop due to unsafe repairs. Your family's safety and your investment are at risk. You may have a diminished value claim due to repairs. Did your insurance company mention that? In Clinton and in Richland, we work for you. We take pride in perfection.
If you're a parent or grandparent, you should know that even though Mississippi is ranked as the unhealthiest state in the country, we have the highest vaccination rate for our children and grandchildren. Many of us blindly trust the medical establishment, and now it's time to question vaccine safety. Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights is a grassroots organization working to educate the public and lawmakers about this important topic. Be informed. Go to mpvr.org. Like us on Facebook to stay up to date on the latest information. That's Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights, mpvr.org.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are returning back to A Christmas Carol. They left the school behind them. They were now in the busy thoroughfares of a city where shadowy passengers passed, where shadowy carts and coaches battled for the way, and all the strife and tumult of a real city were. Here, too, it was Christmas time again, but it was evening and the streets were lit up. The ghost stopped at a certain warehouse door. They went in.
Do you know this place?
Know it? I was apprenticed here. Why, it's old Fezziwig. Bless his heart. Is Fezziwig alive again?
Old Fezziwig laid down his pen and looked up at the clock, which pointed to the hour of 7. He rubbed his hands, adjusted his large pants, laughed all over himself from his shoes to his organ of benevolence, and called out in a comfortable, oily, rich, fat, jovial voice.
Yo-ho there, Ebenezer! Dick! Dick Wilkins, to be sure. Bless me, yes. There he is. He was very much attached to me, was Dick.
Scrooge's former self, now a grown young man, came briskly in, accompanied by his fellow apprentice.
Ho, my boys! No more work tonight. It's Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas, Ebenezer. Let's have the shutters up before a man can say Jack Robinson.
You wouldn't believe how those two fellows went at it. They charged into the street with the shutters. 1, 2, 3, had them up in their places. 4, 5, 6, barred them and pinned them. 7, 8, 9, and came back before you could count to 12, panting like racehorses. Fezziwig, despite his heft, skipped down from his high desk with wonderful agility.
Clear away, my lads, and let's have lots of room here. Hilly-ho, Dick. Cheer up, Ebenezer.
It was done in a minute. Every movable was packed off as if it were dismissed from public life forevermore. The floor was swept and mopped, the lamps were trimmed, fuel was heaped upon the fire, and the warehouse was as snug and warm and dry and bright a ballroom as anyone would desire to have upon a winter's night. In came a fiddler with a music book and went up to the lofty desk and made an orchestra of it. He was soon joined by a cellist, flautist, and a portly old fellow intent to keep time. They formed a merry little band for a wondrous night. In came Mrs. Fezziwig, one vast, substantial smile. In came 3 Miss Fezziwigs, beaming and lovable. In came the 6 young followers whose hearts they broke. In came all the young men and women employed in the business. In they all came, one after another, some shyly, some boldly, some gracefully, some awkwardly, some pushing, some pulling. In they all came, anyhow and everyhow. Away they went dancing, 20 couples at once, hands half round and back again the other way, down the middle and up again, round and round in various stages of affectionate grouping. When this result was brought about, old Fezziwig clapped his hands to stop the dance.
Well done. Well done.
A small matter to make these silly folks so full of gratitude.
Small?
Why, is it not? He has spent but a few pounds of your mortal money. 3 or 4, perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
It isn't that, Spirit. He has the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, a pleasure or a toil. The happiness he gives is quite as great as if it cost a fortune. Spirit, you can't...
What is the matter?
Nothing particular.
I think it's something.
No, it's just... I should like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk just now. That's all.
My time grows short.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to take another break here at the top of the hour before we get into this next scene, which is one of the best scenes, I think, in the story. But again, if you want to catch any of this, if you miss any of this, you can go to our website, regulatorsproductions.com. You can go right there. The links to it, both on YouTube where you can see it. But if you're driving your car, it may be better if you have Amazon. And of course, we partner with Amazon for a lot of different types of other productions. So it's a great place to check out to get it on there if you want it on your car, on your phone, or anything like that. That's regulatorsproductions.com. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Donald Trump actually just announced that he is giving Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas as federal holidays for all those federal workers. So he's not Scrooge. The Democrats may think he is Scrooge, but he is actually giving those days off. He's done it before. Of course, Biden did it before, if I'm being in all fairness. But he is not being a Scrooge and making the federal employees be like Cratchit, even though I think, you know what, some of them probably haven't worked enough anyway, so it wouldn't hurt them. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take a break right here. I said I wouldn't talk politics, so I'm not going to. It's very hard. When I have this microphone in my face, it's very hard not to do so. But we're going to go ahead and take a break right here. We're going to have this long break here at the top of the hour when they do the news, and we'll get right back into it with the Ghost of Christmas Past and moving on to our next couple of ghosts. Again, if you want to call in during this long break, and call in at 601-879-0002. Love to hear your feedback and what you think so far. But keep it tuned to the full story on WYAB 103.9.
CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Steel.
I'm Allison Keys. AAA says this year's holiday travel is breaking records, whether you're taking to the skies or the roads. Even cruises are getting a boost as people head for the seas. But CBS's Katie Weiss says prepare for a lot of company.
Over the next 18 days, U.S. airlines are expected to carry a record 52.6 million passengers, an average of nearly 3 million people a day. To accommodate the demand, airlines are adding 72,000 more seats a day.
But parts of the nation are seeing wicked weather, including Southern California. CBS News meteorologist John Elliott explains.
Concern now from National Weather Service offices out of California, landslides and mudslides. We're going to see localized flooding, mountain interaction, and copious amounts of snow. Right through the weekend, you're going to be tracking this atmospheric river, and you're going to be measuring snow by the foot and rain by the inches.
More documents released by the Justice Department regarding the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. CBS's Scott McFarland with the latest.
Photos this morning of many of the powerful who ran in convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's circle. Bill Clinton seen swimming in a pool with Ghislaine Maxwell and another woman with her face redacted. Clinton with another unknown woman on his lap. Celebrities, too, including Michael Jackson and Diana Ross, Epstein with Mick Jagger, and Chris Tucker with Maxwell.
Federal investigators are trying to find out what caused that plane crash Thursday in North Carolina that killed retired NASCAR driver Greg Bickville and 6 others. Michael Graham is on the National Transportation Safety Board.
Departed from runway 10 at Statesville Regional Airport and attempted to land on runway 28 after approximately being airborne for 10 minutes.
It's a busy shopping day. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The National Retail Federation and Prosper Insights and Analytics estimate nearly 159 million consumers will shop today. Nearly half are expected to shop both in-store and online. Some 46 million are expected to shop exclusively in stores. 41 million will shop only online. Top destinations for those brick and mortar shoppers: department stores and discount stores. As of early December, consumers said they had completed just over half of their holiday shopping. That means they still have halfway to go. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Washington, D.C.'s John F. Kennedy Center has been renamed after President Trump. It is now the Donald J. Trump and the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts. But the original name is still on websites like Ticketmaster.
Check off the wish list with instant savings and free battery offers on select Steel tools. Shop online at steelusa.com or in store.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. You know, one of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Some thieves have targets that might surprise you.
I'm your ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by.
A man has been charged with stealing hundreds of cases of ice cream from delivery trucks in Northwest Indiana. Police in Griffith say Christopher Stewart was arrested this week after stealing almost 260 cases of ice cream over the course of several weeks. The stuff was valued at approximately $6,200. Stewart allegedly admitted to stealing the ice cream and selling it. He's now charged with multiple counts of theft. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News, Chicago.
Ho, ho, ho!
All right, that's a practice run, but Santa and his reindeer are gearing up for their big day next week. His fans have help for the 70th year in a row from NORAD and its Santa Tracker. That's the North American Aerospace Defense Command in Colorado. But for the first time this year, those wanting the lowdown on where St. Nick is can make a call through the website. Allison Keys, CBS News.
So Pure Talk just had their best year ever and asked me if I'd like to thank their customers on their behalf for being so awesome. I said sure. It's important to say thanks, especially this time of year, which is why, as one of their many satisfied customers, I should probably thank Pure Talk first for keeping their customer service in this country and for providing hundreds of American jobs. I appreciate that. I also appreciate their Roundup program, which makes it easy to support America's Warrior Partnership and join the fight against veteran suicide. And I love that Pure Talk donated 1,000 hand-sewn Made in America flags to veterans around Independence Day. And of course, I really appreciate their generous support of my own foundation, MicroWorks, and their commitment to help us train the next generation of skilled workers. Having said all that, it's now my pleasure, on behalf of everyone at Pure Talk, to thank you sincerely for choosing to do business with an American wireless company that actually stands for something. And one more thing.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
It's time for The Full Story with your host, Matthew Bishop. Matt's back on the WYAB airwaves. And now, the host of The Full Story, Matthew Bishop.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to The Full Story on WYAB 103.9 as we continue on with our production of A Christmas Carol. And we'll be picking right back up as we're still in the Ghost of Christmas Past, as we're about to get into some pretty difficult subjects for our good friend Ebenezer Scrooge. And here we go.
My time grows short. Quick!
This was not addressed to Scrooge or to anyone he could see, but it produced an immediate effect. For again Scrooge saw himself. He was older now, a man in the prime of his life. His face had not the harsh or rigid lines of later years, but had begun to wear the signs of care and avarice. He was not alone, but sat by the side of a fair young woman in a mourning dress, in whose eyes there were tears which sparked in the light that shone out of the ghost of Christmas past.
It matters little. To you, very little. Another idol has displaced me, and if it can cheer and comfort you in time to come, as I would have tried to do, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
Oh, this is the even-handed dealing of the world. There is nothing on which it is so hard as poverty. And there is nothing it professes to condemn with such severity as the pursuit of wealth.
You fear the world too much. All your other hopes have merged into the hope of being beyond the chance of its sordid reproach. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until the master passion, gain, engrosses you. Am I wrong?
What then? I am not changed towards you. Am I?
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so. It was made with love. You are changed. When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy.
No. It was when you were Ebenezer. My Ebenezer. Now you are just Mr. Scrooge. We were once of one heart, a happy one. Now that we are two, we are fraught with misery. I know you can't see it because you are blinded by the coin, but I have thought about it, cried about it, night after night, and now I can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words? No, never.
In what then?
In a changed nature, in an altered spirit.
Have I not given you everything? What is it you want, Belle?
You. I wanted you, Ebenezer. But you can't say the same about me, as you cannot profit from my love. Tell me, if we had never met, would you seek me out and try to win me now?
You think not?
I would gladly think otherwise if I could. But how can I believe that you would choose a dowerless girl, you who, in your very confidence with her, weigh everything by gain?
So even if I tell you I want to be with you, you will not believe me.
Even if I believed you today, what about tomorrow? Even if you could set aside your guiding principle, I know regret would come. And regret is soon followed by disdain.
Belle,
You may have pain in this, at least for a brief time. But soon, you will forget about it. Forget about me as an unprofitable dream. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
She left him, and they parted. They were in another scene and place, a room not very large or handsome, but full of comfort. Near to the winter fire sat a beautiful young girl, so like the last that Scrooge believed it was the same, until he saw her, now a comely matron, sitting opposite her daughter. And now Scrooge looked on more attentively than ever, when the master of the house came into the room and sat down with his daughter and his wife at his own fireside. Then Scrooge thought that such a daughter, quite as graceful and as full of promise, might have called him father, and been a springtime in the haggard winter of his life. His sight grew very dim indeed. The man's eyes sparkled when he looked at Belle and gave her a handsome smile.
Belle, I saw an old friend of yours this afternoon.
Who was it?
Guess.
How can I?
Come on, try.
Oh, I don't know. Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge it was. His office window was open and I couldn't resist taking a peek. His partner lies on the point of death, I hear, and there he sat alone. Quite alone in the world, I do believe.
Spirit, remove me from this place.
I told you these were shadows of the things that have been. They are what they are. Do not blame me.
Remove me, I cannot bear it.
He turned upon the ghost, and seeing that it looked upon him, he saw in the specter's face fragments of all the faces it had shown him, and wrestled with it.
Leave me. Take me back. Haunt me no longer.
So he seized the extinguisher cap and by a sudden action pressed it down upon his head. The spirit dropped beneath it so that the extinguisher covered its whole form, but though Scrooge pressed it down with all his force, he could not hide from the light which streamed from under it, an unbroken flood above the ground, until finally it was out. He was conscious of being exhausted and overcome by an irresistible drowsiness, and further of being in his own bedroom, he gave the cap a parting squeeze in which his hand relaxed, and he had barely enough time to reel to bed before he sank into a heavy sleep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and take a break right now before we get into our very next ghost. Again, if you want to call in during the break, 601-879-0002, but keep it tuned to the full story on WYAB 103.9.
WYAB.
Carter Jewelers has started our annual Christmas sale where everything in both stores are heavily discounted. Carter Jewelers made one of our largest purchases of gold jewelry just before the price of gold skyrocketed. This jewelry was all solid gold men's and ladies' chains, bracelets, and earrings. All this gold jewelry comes with a lifetime warranty, and we're selling for approximately 70% off the current retail tag prices. Carter Jewelers also handpicked and purchased tons of gorgeous closeout diamond jewelry. This was all fine diamond jewelry of the highest quality. Carter Jewelers is selling this jewelry for about the same price most jewelers would have to pay for jewelry like this. Carter Jewelers has the best selection and the best prices in the region. Carter Jewelers is offering interest-free and no credit check financing. Trade-ins are welcome. Located downtown Jackson, 2 blocks from the Capitol on High Street and the Pemberton Plaza in Vicksburg.
Get the hell out of your life. And now you can get twice as much Get the Hell Out of Your Life every week on WYAB. Join Ron Myers every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. as he brings you stories of inspiration, interviewing guests who have successfully gotten the hell out of their life by finding Jesus. So start your weekend off right at 7 a.m. on 103.9 WYAB. The new day and time for Get the Hell Out of Your Life.
Health has always been reactive, focused on fixing problems as they happen. But with Blue Primary Care, we're taking a proactive approach, working with you to help you understand your health and empowering you to be healthy. It's time to prioritize you, your health, and your life. The results? Less worrying and more living. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue.
I am Wayne Lloyd, Delta Farm Services, LLC. We do all types of dirt work, excavation, dozer work, land leveling. We do building pads, commercial ponds and lakes, residential ponds and lakes, anything with dirt work. Delta Farm Services, LLC.
Google Delta Farm Services, LLC, or find them on Facebook. Delta Farm Services, LLC.
Hey guys, I have a secret for you. We notice. We notice when you're tired all the time. We notice when your drive is gone. We notice when you're just not feeling that into us. But here's the good news. It might not be your age. It might be your testosterone level. Hey y'all, I'm Morgan at Men's Health of Mississippi. We help men just like you. We specialize in giving you back your strength, your energy, stamina, and confidence. Don't settle for feeling less than your best. Call Men's Health of Mississippi today to find out what your testosterone level is. Trust me, we'll notice that too.
Efficient and trouble-free payroll processing is crucial to a business's success, and a lot of businesses are struggling with it. PeopleLease, a local payroll provider, not only offers top-of-the-line software, but also provides on-demand payroll support services. With PeopleLease, you're never on your own at every step of your payroll process. PeopleLease has the expertise in managing payroll challenges and will work hard to understand your business and employees. That's what makes PeopleLease the perfect choice for you and your business. Learn more online at peoplelease.com.
I'm speaking with Lee Bounds of Rapid Rate Mortgage. How does real estate agent Rita Jensen succeed when time is of the essence?
In today's market, it is so important to communicate and close on time. Typically have 30 days to close, get a home inspection, appraisal, title work, that kind of thing is a mortgage process. And a realtor relationship is so important. With a realtor like Rita Jensen with Remax Connection, she helps us to close on time.
RitaJensen.net.
Want some whiskey in your water, sugar in your tea. What's all this crazy question asking me? This is the craziest party that could ever.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Full Story on WYAB 103.9. Once again, having some Three Dog Night. I should have put Three Dog Night in the actual production. And I think I missed out on an opportunity right there. But we're going to go ahead and continue on as we're about to get into our very next ghost. Awaking in the middle of a prodigiously tough snore and sitting up in bed to get his thoughts together, Scrooge had no occasion to be told that the bell was again upon the stroke of 1.
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour.
What will you send me now, spirits? Perhaps a rhinoceros? I'm sorry, I did not mean it.
A blaze of ruddy light began to shine on him.
What is this? Am I to spontaneously combust?
This idea taking full possession of his mind, he got up softly and shuffled in his slippers to the door. The moment Scrooge's hand was on the lock, it called.
Ebenezer! Ebenezer Scrooge! Come. Enter.
He obeyed and entered. It was his own room. There was no doubt about that, but it had undergone a surprising transformation. The walls and ceiling were so hung with living green that it looked a perfect grove, for every part of which bright gleaming berries glistened. Heaped up on the floor to form a kind of throne were turkeys, geese, game, poultry, long wreaths of sausages, and red-hot chestnuts that made the chamber dim with their delicious steam. In an easy state upon this couch, there sat a jolly giant, glorious to see, who bore a glowing torch and held up high to shed its light on Scrooge as he came peeping around the door.
Come in! Come in and know me better, man!
Scrooge entered timidly and hung his head before the spirit.
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me!
I am, but I am confused, spirit. You wear a green robe with mink around the corners and a holly wreath around your dark hair like a queen. Yet you also wear an empty scabbard that is eaten with rust. Are you an ancient Amazon? Or perhaps Athena herself?
You have never seen the likes of me before.
Never.
Perhaps you have walked with my brothers?
I don't think I have. Have you had many brothers, spirit?
More than 1,800.
Tremendous family to provide for.
Speak up, little man.
Oh, nothing.
Anything worth saying must be proclaimed, lest why speak it at all?
Spirit, conduct me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion, and I learnt a lesson which is working now. Tonight, if you have to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
Scrooge did as he was told and held it fast. They vanished from the warmth and cornucopia of the house and stood in the city streets on Christmas morning, where the people made a rough but brisk and not unpleasant kind of music in scraping the snow from the pavement in front of their dwellings. They soon went to the neighborhood bakery, where the baker was arguing with a customer.
What do you mean you sold out of rolls? I specifically put in an advance order to prevent this. Those were my rolls.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have waited until Christmas Day to pick them up.
Such a shame to quarrel on Christmas Day.
The spirit sprinkled a few drops of perfumed water from her torch on their heads and then on some pastries.
I'm sorry. You're right. I should not have waited until Christmas.
Oh, nonsense. It is on me. Here, take these croissants.
Is there a peculiar flavor in what you sprinkle from your torch?
There is. My own.
Would it apply to any kind of dinner on this day?
To any kindly given. To a poor one, most.
Why to a poor one most?
Because it needs it most.
And perhaps it was the pleasure the good spirit had in showing off this power of hers that led her straight to Scrooge's clerks. For there she went and took Scrooge with her, holding to her robe, and on the threshold of the door the spirit smiled and stopped to bless Bob Cratchit's dwelling with the sprinklings of a torch. There they saw Mrs. Cratchit dressed out but poorly in a second-hand gown, but with many colorful ribbons which cost only pennies. She was making Christmas dinner, being assisted by Belinda Cratchit, second of her daughters, also brave in ribbons, while Master Peter Cratchit plunged a fork into the saucepan of potatoes.
Where in heavens is your precious father with Tiny Tim?
Bob Cratchit, the father, came in, his threadbare clothes pressed and brushed to look seasonable, and Tiny Tim upon his shoulder. Alas for Tiny Tim, he bore a little crutch and had his limbs supported by an iron frame.
And how did little Tim behave?
As good as gold, and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much and thinks the strangest things you ever heard. He told me, coming home, that he hoped the people saw him in the church because he was a cripple, and it might help them remember who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Tiny Tim's active little crutch was heard upon the floor, and back came Tiny Tim before another word was spoken, escorted by his brother and sister to his stool beside the fire. Master Peter and the two ubiquitous young Cratchits went to fetch the goose, which they had soon returned in high procession.
Would you say grace, dear?
Of course. Everybody bow their heads now.
Miraculously, all the children obeyed.
Dear Lord, thank you for this most wonderful and plentiful feast you have provided. May we revel on this holiest of days and may have another year of good fortune. Amen.
Amen.
Fortune? What fortune has he?
A fortune you may never have, Ebenezer. Watch.
What a goose this is. I don't think there ever was such a wonderful bird cooked.
It's no turkey, but I suppose it'll do.
Well, I must say, Miss Cratchit, this may have been your greatest success since you married me.
Oh, that's my greatest success, huh?
A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us.
God bless us. God bless us, everyone.
Tiny Tim sat very close to his father's side upon his little stool. Bob held his withered little hand in his, as if he loved the child and wished to keep him by his side, and dreaded that he might be taken from him.
Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in the little corner by the fireplace, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die. None other of my race can save him.
No, no, oh no, kind spirit. Say he will be spared.
What then? If he be like to die, he had better do it and decrease the surplus population.
I didn't mean it like that.
How do you know what the surplus is and where it is? Will you decide what men shall live, what men shall die? It may be that in the sight of heaven, you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child.
Scrooge bent before the ghost's rebuke and trembling cast his eyes upon the ground, but he raised them speedily on hearing his own name.
Mr. Scrooge. I'll give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, not in front of the children. It's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. Why should one drink to the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge? You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do.
My dear, it's Christmas.
I'll drink to his health for your sake and the day's. Long life to him. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
Scrooge was the ogre of the family. The mention of his name cast a dark shadow on the party, which was not dispelled for a full 5 minutes.
They are not a handsome family. They're not well dressed. Their shoes have holes, and Bob has likely seen the inside of a pawnbroker's. But they have more wealth here than you have ever seen.
What wealth, my lady?
They are happy, grateful, and pleased with one another. There is love here.
With that, the ghost sprinkled them all with her magical concoction as Scrooge kept his eye on Tiny Tim. And now, without a word of warning from the ghost, they stood upon a large field where monstrous masses of rude stone were cast about, as though it were the burial place of
What place is this?
A place where miners live who labor in the bowels of the earth. But they know me. Watch.
At a small camp outside the cave, a small group of miners were huddled in a cabin around a bare tree with candles hanging from it. They held hands and hummed. The spirit quickly whisked him away, passing through mud and stone when they happened upon a small cottage. Inside, a woman whose face showed the lines of a long life sat rocking in a chair.
Away in a manger, no crib for a bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head.
Though she was alone, the miners' voices somehow joined hers as if the Christmas spirit connected them.
The stars in the bright sky looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay.
The spirit did not dally here, but bade Scrooge hold her road and passed on above the moor into the sea. Built upon a dismal reef of sunken rocks miles from the shore, there stood a solitary lighthouse. But even here, two men who watched the light had made a fire. The elder man, with his face all damaged and scarred with hard weather, as the figurehead of an old ship might be, struck up a sturdy song that was like a gale in itself.
The cattle are lowing, the baby awakes, but little Lord Jesus no crying he makes.
The young man soon harmonized.
I love thee, Lord Jesus, look down from the sky and stay by my cradle till morning is nigh.
The spirit then joined in, but it was not just her voice that came from her mouth, but those of all that had seen that night.
Be near me, Lord Jesus, I ask thee to stay close by me forever and love me, I pray.
It was a great surprise to Scrooge while listening to this mystical chorus that he heard a hearty laugh. It was a much greater surprise to Scrooge to recognize it as his own nephew's, and to find himself in a bright, dry, gleaming room with the spirit standing, smiling by his side, and looking at that same nephew with approving affability. When Scrooge's nephew laughed in this way, holding his sides, rolling his head, and twisting his face into the most extravagant contortions, Scrooge's niece, by marriage, laughed as heartily as he. She was exceedingly pretty and was quite a match for his nephew. She smiled with her dimpled cheeks as she kissed him. And their assembled friends, being not a bit behind, roared out.
And he said that Christmas was a humbug. He believed it too.
More shame for him, Fred.
He's a comical old fellow, that's the truth, and not so pleasant as he might be. However, his offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him.
I'm sure he's very rich, Fred. At least you always tell me so.
What of that, Madeline? His wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't do any good with it. He doesn't make himself comfortable with it.
He's a miserly old fool. I have no patience with him.
Oh, I have. I'm sorry for him. I couldn't be angry with him if I tried. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself. Always. Here he takes it into his head to dislike us, and he won't come and dine with us. What's the consequences? He doesn't lose much of a dinner.
I think he loses a very good dinner, dear. But do go on, Fred. You never finished what you were going to say.
I was only going to say that the consequences of his taking a dislike to us and not making merry with us is that he loses some pleasant moments, which could do him no harm. I mean to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not, for I pity him. He may rail at Christmas till he dies, but he can't help thinking better of it. I defy him. If he finds me going there in good temper year after year and saying, "Uncle Scrooge, how are you?" if it only puts him in the vein to leave his poor clerk some money, that's something. And actually, I think I shook him yesterday. Laugh if you want, but I won't stop. Not till he's cold in the grave, I tell you.
Soon they moved on from the topic of Scrooge and began to sing their own carol. There might have been 20 people there, young and old, but they all sang.
Herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild.
God and sinners reconciled.
The ghost turned to see Scrooge, a bright smile on his face as he joined in, even if they couldn't hear him.
Oh, Spirit, may I stay? Please, just until everyone departs.
I'm sorry, but it cannot be done.
It would be ungrateful to at least not drink to the health of the old man. He has definitely given us merriment tonight.
You're insufferable, dear.
Here is a glass of wine ready to our hand at the moment, and I say to Uncle Scrooge, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, wherever he is. He wouldn't take it from me, but he may have it nevertheless. Uncle Scrooge! It was a long night, if it were only a night, but Scrooge had his doubts of this, because the Christmas holidays appear to be condensed into the space of time they passed together. It was strange, too, that while Scrooge remained unaltered in his outward form, the ghost grew older, clearly older.
Are spirits' lives so short?
My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight at midnight.
But it is already a quarter to...
Drawing near.
Forgive me if I am not justified in what I ask, but I see something strange and not belonging to yourself protruding from your skirts. Is it a foot or a claw?
It might be a claw. Look here.
Foldings of its robe, it brought two children, wretched, abject, frightful, hideous, miserable. They knelt down at its feet and clung upon the outside of its garment. Scrooge immediately diverted his eyes.
Do not avert your eyes! Look at this boy and girl. Yellow, ragged, scowling. Yet they are weak and meager. Where graceful youth should fill their features, a stale and shriveled hand has pinched and twisted them.
Where angels might have sat enthroned, devils lurked and glared out menacing. Scrooge started back, appalled.
Are they your spirit?
They are man's, and they cling to me, appealing from their fathers. This boy is ignorance. This girl is want. Beware them both and all of their degree, but most of all beware this boy, for on his brow I see the written which is doom, unless the writing be erased.
This can't be.
Do you deny it? You who make it worse and bide the end.
Have they no refuge or resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
The bell struck 12. Scrooge looked about for the ghost and saw it not. As the last stroke ceased to vibrate, he remembered the prediction of old Jacob Marley.
3 spirits. The third when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate.
All right, there's your ominous theme to our next segment. We're going to take a break right here. We'll be right back.
.9 WYAB.
By golly, be jolly. Give the gift of entertainment. Malco gift cards and our gourmet popcorn are the perfect gifts for making memories this holiday season. Why watch movies on TV at home when you can experience movies in the theater? Give the gift of memories this holiday season with gift cards from Malco Theaters. Shop online at malco.com or in person at Malco Grandview in Madison or Malco at the Renaissance in Ridgeland.
Here's what they're saying about Corcoran Door Company.
I'm going to yell out to one of your sponsors here, Corcoran Door. When the guy came out here, instead of just trying to throw a door up, he was looking at the way the house was facing. Man, with this double garage here on the south side, you might want to consider a insulated door. I came in earlier today about 2:30. The car thermometer said 99 degrees. The thermometer inside the garage was 82.
That's why they've been around 50 years.
Yeah.
Corkanddoor.com. CORKERN door.com.
CBS News Brief. It's a huge travel day and millions are heading to airports and hitting the roads. CBS's Katie Weiss.
Nationwide, airports saw more than 10,000 domestic flights canceled or delayed Friday. And over the weekend, more wind and snowy weather are expected to keep the delays coming across the Northeast.
A new batch of records involving the late convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein was released this morning, but CBS's Scott McFarland reports some think there's not enough information out there.
The Department of Justice sent a letter to Congress Friday night defending what they released, saying they were being transparent and trying to protect victims.
If you play Powerball, tonight's drawing has a massive prize if you can beat the astronomical odds of winning it and then figuring out what to do with it. CBS's Adriana Diaz breaks it down.
In case you're doing some financial planning, after taxes, you'll be taking home $686.5 million.
CBS News Brief. I'm Allison Keys.
Rotor's Plumbing of Pearl, your familiar plumber with these similar names. Locally owned and operated by Chris Rotor. Rotor's Plumbing is no franchise, simply lower prices and better service without the dreaded overpriced upsell. Rotor's is one of the few places you'll find that actually specialize in tankless water heater repair, as well as being your full-service plumber. And most importantly, service after the sale, meaning the techs actually answer your call, with misses averaging callbacks of 10 minutes or less. Rotor's Plumbing at ROEDERSplumbing.com.
This Christmas, Green Oak has everything you need to make your season magical. We've got the finest live trees, wreaths, and garlands. We can light, flock, and deliver straight to your door. Visit our gift shop for stunning holiday decorations, unique gifts, and handcrafted treasures to complete your festive look. Planning a holiday event? Our custom floral designs will add elegance and cheer to every occasion. Make this Christmas stress-free and beautiful with Green Oak on Old Canton Road in Jackson or at the Township in Ridgeland. And let us help design, nurture, and grow your holiday spirit. Green Oak, your home for the holidays.
This is Doug with Magnolia Safety Group. Imagine a workplace where every employee feels safe and empowered. At Magnolia Safety Group, we make that vision a reality. From OSHA compliance to customized training, hazard assessments, and safety audits. We deliver tailored solutions that protect your people and boost productivity. Don't just meet safety standards, exceed them. Partner with Magnolia Safety Group and build a safer future one workplace at a time. Call us today to get started or check out our website at magnoliasafetygroup.com.
Dr. Mike Stonington here from Stonington Farm Grass-Fed Beef. Here in South Mississippi on Stonington Farm, our steers are grass-fed and grass-finished. No grain, no hormones, no antibiotics, no mRNA vaccines. Our grass-fed and grass-finished beef is straight from our farm to your table. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and at StoningtonFarm.com. That's StoningtonFarm.com with 2 N's. And we deliver every 4 weeks to the Jackson area. We are the grass-fed difference.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the full story. And they're the bagpipes. And you know what the bagpipe means? Is stuff's about to get real. And here we go into the next stave of A Christmas Carol. A phantom, draped and hooded, came towards Scrooge like a mist along the ground. The phantom slowly, gravely, silently approached. When it came near him, Scrooge bent down upon his knee, for in the very air through which this spirit moved, it seemed to scatter gloom and mystery. It was shrouded in a deep black garment, which concealed its head, its face, its form, and left nothing of it visible save for one outstretched, pale hand. He felt that it was tall and stately when it came beside him, and that its mysterious presence filled him with a solemn dread. He knew no more, for the spirit neither spoke nor moved.
Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come?
The spirit answered not, but pointed downward with its hand.
You are about to show me shadows of the things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us. Is that so?
The spirit inclined its head, the only answer Scrooge received.
Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any specter I have seen, but as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, I am prepared to bear you company, and do it with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me?
It gave him no reply. The hand was pointed straight before them.
Lead on. The night is waning fast, and it is precious time to me. I know. Lead on, spirit.
They went into an obscure part of town, where Scrooge had never penetrated before, although he recognized its situation and its bad repute. The ways were foul and narrow, the shops and houses wretched, the people half-naked, drunken, slipshod, and ugly. Alleys and archways like so many cesspools disgorged their offenses of smell and dirt and life upon these straggling streets, and the whole quarter reeked with crime, filth, and misery. Far in this den of infamous resort, there was a low-browed, beetling shop. Sitting in among the wares was a gray-haired rascal known as Old Joe, nearly 70 years of age, and smoked his pipe in all the luxury of calm retirement. Scrooge and the Phantom came into the presence of this man just as the woman with the heavy bundle slunk into the shop. But she had scarcely entered when another woman, carrying a suspiciously similar load, came in as well, and she was closely followed by a man in faded black who was no less startled by the sight of them as they recognized each other. After a short period of blank astonishment, in which the old man with the pipe had joined them, they all three burst into a laugh.
Well, look at us, the maid, laundress, and undertaker, all here at the same time, no less.
I suppose we all came as fast as we could.
We couldn't have met in a better place. Now let's do business.
The maid threw her bundle on the floor and sat down in a flaunting manner on a stool, crossing her elbows on her knees and looking with a bold defiance at the other two.
What odds then? What odds? Mrs. Dilber, every person has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
That's true indeed, no man more so.
Who's the worse for the loss of a few things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
No, indeed.
If he wanted to keep him after he was dead, wicked old screw. Why wasn't he good in his lifetime? If he had been, he'd had somebody to look after him when he was struck with death.
It's the truest word that ever was spoke. It's a judgment on him.
Old Joe unraveled what the maid had brought him.
What do you call this? Bed curtains?
That's exactly what they are.
You don't mean to say you took him down, rings and all, with him lying there?
Yes, I do. Why not?
You were born to make your fortune, and you'll certainly do it.
I certainly won't hold my hand for the sake of such a man as he was. I promise you, Joe, don't drop that oil upon the blankets now.
His blankets.
Who else's do you think?
Well, I hope he didn't die of anything catching, eh?
You don't be afraid of that. He was just old and cranky. But take a look at that shirt there. You won't find a hole in it. It's the best he had, and a fine one, too. They'd have wasted it if it hadn't been for me.
What do you mean, wasted it?
Putting it on him to be buried in.
After thoroughly going through the contents, Old Joe gave the maid a flannel bag with money in it.
This is the end of it, you see. He frightened everyone away from him when he was alive, to profit us when he was dead.
Spirit, I see. The case of this unhappy man may be my own. My life tends that way now. Merciful heaven, what is this?
He recoiled in terror, for the scene had changed, and now he almost touched a bed, a bare, uncurtained bed on which beneath a ragged sheet there lay something covered up, which announced itself in awful language.
This man lay in a dark, empty house with not a man, woman, or child to say he was kind. If there is any person in the town who feels emotion caused by this man's death, show that person to me, Spirit. I beg you.
The phantom spread its dark robe before him for a moment like a wing, and withdrawing it revealed a room by daylight where a mother and her children were. She was expecting someone, and with anxious eagerness, for she walked up and down the room, startled at every sound.
Oh, God! It's just you. I thought for sure they'd come for the house. Here, I made you some dinner.
Thank you, dear.
Any news? Is it good or bad? Please tell me, I can't bear it.
Do you believe in hope, Caroline?
Are we ruined? I knew it. Maybe he can relent. Miracles do happen, you know?
He is past relenting.
That miserable old fool. Of course he would throw a family on the streets on Christmas.
No, Caroline. He is past relenting because, well, he's dead.
What? You're kidding me. Our luck is not that good.
No, turns out he was not trying to avoid me last week. He was dying.
This is wonderful. A true Christmas miracle. To whom will our debt be transferred?
I don't know, but they can't possibly be as merciless as he was. We may sleep with light hearts tonight, Caroline. The only emotion that the ghost could show him caused by the event was one of pleasure.
Let me see some tenderness connected with a death.
The ghost conducted him through several streets. They entered poor Bob Cratchit's house, the dwelling he had visited before, and found Bob and his wife sitting at the table, Bob sipping a cup of tea his wife had made him.
You went today then, Robert?
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that we would walk there every Sunday. My little child. My little child. You are such a good wife, my dear. But however and whenever we part from one another, I am sure none of us will forget.
Never, dear. I'll remember how patient and how sweet he was, although he was a little child.
Mrs. Cratchit hugged Bob with all her strength as they cried in solemn unity.
Spirit of Tiny Tim, thy childish essence was from God. Spectre, I feel that our parting moment is at hand. I'm certain of it, though I don't know how. Tell me, who was the man under those sheets?
The ghost of Christmas yet to come conducted him through time and place again as Scrooge followed until they reached an iron gate. He paused to look around before entering. A churchyard. Here, the wretched man whose name he had now to learn lay underneath the ground. The spirit stood among the graves and pointed down to one. Scrooge advanced towards it, trembling. The phantom was exactly as it had been, but he dreaded that he saw a new meaning in its solemn shape.
Before I draw near to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of the things that will be? Or are they the shadows of the things that only may be?
Still the ghost pointed downward to the grave by which it stood.
Tell me these courses may be changed. Say this is what you show me, Spirit.
The spirit was immovable as ever. Scrooge crept towards it, trembling as he went, and following the finger read upon the stone of the neglected grave,
Ebenezer Scrooge. Am I that man who lay upon the bed?
The finger pointed from the grave to him and back again.
No, Spirit. Oh, no, no!
The finger was still there.
Spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was before. Why show me this if I am past all hope? Assure me that I may yet change these shadows you have shown me by an altered life. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on this stone.
In his agony, he caught the spectral hand. It sought to free itself, but Scrooge detained it. The spirit, stronger yet, repulsed him. Holding up his hands in one last prayer to have his fate reversed, he saw an alteration in the Phantom's hood and dress. It shrunk, collapsed, and dwindled down into a bedpost. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to take a break right here. We'll be right back.
.1039 WYAB. So when are you going to check that thing off your to-do list?
Right, that. I don't know. How about next week?
How about now?
Or I could do it later, right?
No more putting it off. Do it now so you don't forget. You want this and have for a while.
You're right. I want this.
You deserve this, and it can help you in the long run. There, I just logged on to homescc.edu. We're getting you registered right now.
Wait. Hold up. I thought you had to show up on site to register at Homes.
You can do either one. You know that career you talk about all the time? The life you dream about? It starts today. How does that famous quote go?
Don't. Please don't.
The secret to getting ahead is...
Getting started.
Spring classes start January 12th, and there's no classes on Fridays. Register at a campus near you, Monday through Thursday.
Said of him that he knew how.
Now at homescc.edu. And remember, your tuition could be free with a 20 on your ACT.
Holmes Community College.
Who I think it is. It's I, your Uncle Scrooge. I have come to dinner. Will you have me, friend?
Recovery, you'll find next-level services like cryotherapy, red light therapy, infrared...
Fellow than I have given you for many a year.
You called me Bob. You've never done that.
Just one of many offenses I intend to rectify. I'll raise your salary and endeavor to assist your struggling family, and we will discuss your affairs this very afternoon over a fine sherry, Bob.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father.
Homes, Mississippi's premier land and home real estate.
He became as good a friend, as good a master, as good a man as the good old city knew. He had no further interaction with spirits, but it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well.
Acreage, hunting, and timber properties available throughout Mississippi and the Southeast. Visit TomSmithLandandHomes.com and invest in land and your future today.
Hello, friends and neighbors. This is David Frederick. I'm here to tell you about the latest development here at Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. In an effort to always bring you the very best brands, I am proud to announce that Frederick Sales and Service is Central Mississippi's newest dealer for Skag zero-turn mowers and products. We have end-of-year deals on one of the industry's best brands of zero-turn mowers, Skag. You can buy now and pay later because 0% financing is also available at Frederick's. Come see our inventory. We're here serving you for over 3 decades in Brandon since 1993.
Tri-County Tree Service, the Jackson Metro's premier company to handle all of your tree service needs. Russ Borland and his team specialize in large tree, low-impact removal. Tri-County Tree Service has the right equipment to safely handle the most technical trim jobs or tree removals. Storm damage can happen year-round, so let them clean it up and they'll deal with your insurance claim. Tri-County Tree Service, by phone at 601-TREE-GUY or online at tricotreeservice.com. That's tricotreeservice.com.
Looking for the perfect spot to
a great day, my within me.
Restaurant is calling your name.
The spirits of all
Wood and Cross.
A bedpost.
El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's.
I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on this stone.
El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, my family, flavor, and
happiest of all.
Hello, this is Richard Palmer, owner of the Mississippi Candy Company. I mean it when I say it. I want you to come in my...
He saw an
If you've not had them, buy it.
Alteration in the Phantom's hood and dress. It shrunk, collapsed, and dwindled down
your own snack,
into a
which can be an array of over 100 gummy flavors. We carry many kinds of popcorn made fresh to order, caramel, dill pickled Chicago, which is a mix of caramel corn and cheddar. We also have flaming hot
Cajun, and garlic parmesan. Find us just west of the Gluckstadt exit at 102 D's Drive.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the full story on WYAB 103.9. We're going to run out of time before we get to the end of it. So if you want to see exactly Scrooge's redemption, if you will, to see all of his redemption, you have to go to our website, regulatorsproductions.com. You can see the final part of the show, the final stave. If you can see exactly how Mr. Scrooge ends up, if he ends up, I should say, maybe you'll have to find out. Who knows if you've never seen the story, exactly how he ends. But I figured at the very least what we could do is play for you guys out the final credits so you guys know who was in this. I think it's only fair to those who played in it. So here are the credits to it. Again, if you want to watch that final stage to see what happens to Scrooge, who knows? You have to go to the website. But here you go. This is all the people who got to play within it. As good a master, as good a man as the good old city knew. He had no further interactions with spirits, but it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well. May that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone. A Christmas Carol was produced and engineered by Matthew Bishop and features the Not Pretty Enough for TV players, with Mac Mitchell as the ghost of Christmas Past and young Scrooge, Raven McGowan as the ghost of Christmas Present and Caroline, Caleb Henry as Fred, Slade Haney as Bob Cratchit, Grace Reeves as Belle, Jamie Shannon Ferguson as Mrs. Cratchit and Old Woman, Michael Kinslow as Fezziwig and Old Joe, Lelaine Ray as The Maid, Christine Callahan as Sister, Martha Menifree as Cratchit Child and Chorus, and Matthew Bishop as Marley and the narrator. All other parts were played by members of the cast. Recorded at LaGrange Studios in Ridgeland, Mississippi. All right, guys, that's all I have for you guys. Yeah, we'll see you again. I guess I'll see you on Monday when I get to fill in, but it'll be back to politics. But until then, my name is Matthew Bishop, and you have heard the full story.